Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Songs and Memories, where for the 28 days I talk about a specific song each episode and the memories it has. You know the drill already. It's day 11, and the song that I want to talk to today is a song called "Don't Say You Love Me" by M2M. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because it's a song that I heard when I was in elementary school. Now, if you're not familiar, it was a song that you pretty much heard at the end credits in the first Pokemon movie, the very, very first one. You know, the one that came out in 1999. And I remember just watching that movie, and I remember liking it because I that was the first movie I ever saw. I saw that movie with me. It was me. My in the theaters. It was me, my dad, my sisters, and my friend, and his brothers and sisters. And it was actually a really nice. It was pretty much connected to my childhood in some way. And I remember the end credits, and I remember that song specifically. That and Vacation by Vitamin C, but we're gonna get. I don't know. Maybe I'll talk about that some other time. I don't know if it's on the list. I forgot. But eventually, it came out of theaters, and we got it on VHS. And I just remember watching it in my basement, the basement you see in the music video show. I remember watching it in my basement alone, and it was just this song comes out. I'm like, oh, okay, it's actually taking me back a little bit. And I just remember that song, and I remember humming it when I was in elementary school. And then cut to years later, when I I woke up. It was my second, no, my first after my first year of college, and for some reason that song just decides to come back in my head, and I'm like, okay, I'll listen to it, one day, and I listened to it during the summer, and I was like, oh my god, this brings back so many memories, and I was like, okay, and it was like, yeah, it's just a breezy, simple song, like it's not a complete love song. I know that from the lyrics, but the memories that it gives me is just it just reminds me of when I listened to it in elementary school, and when I listened to it when I was in after my first year of college. I just remember, it was actually just a nice time just to listen to that song. It sounds so breezy, and I remember on my way home from work, um, when I was on the bus and I listened to that on my MP3 back when like before I stopped listening to my MP3 and just listened to the silence and just reading. Um, just listening to that song when the sun is going down just is like, oh my god, this is just bringing back so much memories. And yeah, that's it. It just reminds me of elementary school and my first year of college. Just specifically when I was in my first year of college. After my first year of college, I just remember listening to that song over and over again while I was just scrolling on the internet, like Wikipedia, like watching TV shows and whatnot. And yeah, it just gives me a good feeling about the thoughts I had when I was in elementary school, just like watching the first Pokemon movie and just being engaged in like here's the thing. I didn't want anybody to know that I liked the song because guys like guy stuff and girls like girl stuff, and that was a girl song. I'm like, I don't want anybody to know that I like this. So yeah, I'm not ashamed to admit I might be a little bit ashamed to admit it in real time, not in video form, but probably in real time I'll be ashamed of it, but ashamed of admitting it. But it's what you know. It's something. Yeah, the my God, the memory, like, just I don't know what else to say. I don't have much to say. It's just that it reminds me of elementary school, and I don't want to keep this going in terms of rambling on like I am doing now. It's just that "Don't Say You Love Me" by M2M is my one of my memories in elementary school, and it's pretty much kind of grown from there. I'll listen to it occasionally, and I just, it's fine. It's a fun, not a fun song, but it's a summer, walky, breezy song if you don't pay attention to the lyrics much. So that was another episode of Songs and Memories, and I'll see you in the next episode.